all I needed was a few warm bodies to pay for the sailboat that I was renting for the weekend. I was over at my friend's house, closing the deal, and I hear this voice in the background. I want to go sailing too. I looked up. I didn't recognize her. I says, do I know you? She goes, yeah, I'm John's wife. Ex-wife. I said, oh, I'm sorry. She goes, don't be. He's a real jerk. You see, John is the guy who I used to go sailing with a lot, because he's the only guy who could get off between Monday and Friday, 9 to 5. Everyone else had real jobs. Well, I remember that he brought his wife one time, and I think this was her. I said, you came sailing with me one time, didn't you? She goes, yeah. I says, did you get sick? She goes, no. I said, you can come. Great, 3 bodies down, 4 to go. Well, the next thing that happened was a really strange thing. I didn't expect it. I got a phone call from this woman. Did I mention she was an older woman? I was only 20. She was like old, maybe 30 or more. I said, hello. She says, hi, it's Charlene. I just wanted to invite you over to dinner. I said, what? She says, yes, I'm a gourmet cook, and I want to cook you a meal. Now, I was Middle Eastern, and I had a very undeveloped palate. You see, we only ate stuff that was Syrian food and burnt meat, because that's the way my father liked his meat. So I didn't even know what gourmet meant, but I was too embarrassed to ask, so I figured it's a free meal, I'll go. The next day, knock on the door opens up, and I'm hit with a swoosh of aromas. Now, I got to tell you, everything froze except me. You ever see that on TV? I noticed one of the 3 smells was this amazing perfume, which I later found out was Giorgio. The second smell was a familiar one to me because it was incense and it was the 70s. And the third smell was something that I had never smelled before, an amazing aroma coming out of the kitchen. Like I told you, I only smelled Syrian food and burnt meat. So then I noticed in the background, it was dark. There were candles flickering. And then I heard some music. Unforgettable, that's what you are. And I said, oh my God, this is a date. And then I freaked out. I says, oh my God, do I want to be on a date with this older woman? So I checked her out, top to bottom. She was wearing this muumuu kind of thing that they used to wear in Hawaii in the 70s. But she looked pretty good. I never looked at her that way before. And then I said to myself, I can do this. And then everything unfroze. So she starts talking. She goes, you're going to love the evening. It's an 8-course meal. The theme of the evening is everything is stuffed. So we got stuffed mushrooms, stuffed caviar, stuffed Cornish game hens, stuffed dessert, and a few other things that I don't remember. But by the end of the evening, I was stuffed. Well, to make a long story short, we had a wonderful evening, got to know each other. The next weekend, we went sailing. And for 8 hours, we sailed from Marina del Rey to Catalina Island at midnight. By the time we got there, the sun was rising, and we just talked and talked and talked and talked, did the getting to know you dance on the sailboat. You know, it was great. But that's another story, because there was a storm coming back, and I don't have time to tell you that story, so you'll have to wait for part 2. But I am Caregiver Dave, and my wife and I travel now all over the world sharing our story. You see, that woman married me 44 years ago, and 22 years ago, she had a stroke, which left her severely speech impaired, paralyzed on the right side, and she still can't talk. I mean, she can use charades and Pictionary, 2 games that I really suck at and I hate, but I am learning to love, and she still can't walk, but she has a power chair. So we just help caregivers learn how to stay alive and stay out of the hospital, because everyone is eventually going to become a caregiver, okay? Yes, even attorneys. And everyone needs to learn how to become a caregiver now, not after tragedy strikes. So now I just want to tell you that we don't want anyone having to come to your house looking for a warm body. Thank you very much.